one of my favorite fucking Halloween memories. So when I was a kid, every year we got hit with people smashing our pumpkin. And finally my dad had had enough. So he took the pumpkins, right, after we carved them, and bought it was like a 50 pack of fucking sewing needles. But you know, the ones that are like little nails?
Yeah.
And he like put them into the jack-o'-lantern so they're sticking out like Hellraiser.
Oh, nice.
And in the middle of the night on Halloween, we heard the most brutal fucking scream we had ever heard.
Oh, God.
So somebody ran up on the porch, went to grab one of the pumpkins, and I mean, fucking... After that, we lived there for another 4 years. Nobody ever fucking touched our pumpkins.
That's a sound security system right there for your pumpkins. So take notes, everyone listening.
Now, be careful now, because people will sue you. But back then, it's the 80s, folks. Yeah, what are you going to do to me? I bet you want to beat my face in, said Hulk Hogan. What do you mean? It's the 90s. We're going to sue you. As a reference to Suburban Commando.
I don't know if it was like the best Halloween memory I have, but it's like the most memorable for me. Like there was a time where I lived with my grandmother, and she lived. I don't want to dox where we're at, but I'll say on a bad neighborhood in the downtown part of our hometown. Okay. And I was Sting. It's funny you just said Hulk Hogan. I was Sting, the wrestler. I don't even know if you know who that is, Tannen, but I know some people listening to this know who Sting.
Dude, I remember old school wrestling. I know.
Okay, yeah. So like, I had the spiked hair and I had the face paint, the whole get up, right? So whatever. Yay, I'm Sting. I'm just trick or treating down the road, and they were like these group of like I'll just say it, like these thugs, right? Way like late teens, and I'm like 9 or 10. You know what I mean? But these guys are they could pass for adults, right? But out of nowhere, it was like 3 or 4 of them. They come up to me and they go, "What's up, Sting, man? Look at that!" Like they were so excited about my costume, right? And like there were like older kids passing while this was going on, and they literally would look at random strangers for no reason, and be like, "Hey, don't mess with my man Sting here," blah blah. And I just felt like the most legit motherfucker. Like I felt like the caveman compared to like a character. So like I had these motherfuckers working for me just because they love my and then like they just went on their way, laughing down the street. And I was like, yeah,
dude, that's awesome. That's fucked. That's a badass memory.
It is. It's weird. It's just a weird memory. But yeah.
You were out in the city. Were you out by yourself? Like they just
No,
were
I
like,
was with
"Here, kid."
my mom and my dad, and they just stood and watched and laughed, and at first you would think they'd like drag me by the arm and be like, "Come here," but like these guys were so legit excited by my costume. It's like maybe it's like their guard instantly went down and it struck a nerve in their heart when they saw Sting or something. They just became these big teddy bears. They were like that nice to me.
Yeah.
But looking at them, you could
never judge a book by its cover, especially when you're a kid. But like when you see like badass motherfuckers around, but like it's still like it still happens every now and again. Like I was at a Sheets last year where we were Rick and Morty, and fucking everybody. Fucking like I don't know. You would have thought I like opened up a portal and was getting worshipped all of a sudden. Especially because I had Morty with me. Karen was a great Morty last year. Oh my god.
Yeah, that was tremendous. Top-notch costumes. The best one I've seen this year is I don't know if I sent it to you yet, but it's on Twitter. Come on, Eileen. And you can pretty much think of the costumes however you want. I love costumes like that, where it's like, it's not literally a character, but it's like a lyric or something translated into a costume. Those are the best and most amazing to me when they're pulled off right.
Now this year, Karen is going to be the Wicked Witch. She even has a prosthetic nose. There's a lot of makeup involved. I'm still giving her shit about not getting liquid latex. So I think we're gonna have to pick up some fresh stuff of that to make the nose legit stick on and go with the rest of the makeup.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a stiffler when it comes to makeup, people. I mean, like I'll send you some of there's old pictures where I can do the wounds and the burns and even like a good drowning victim. I'm really good at creating. But
Tannen Man, it's your time to shine, like we were saying off air. This is your favorite time of the year. One of mine too. I'm a sucker for Christmas. But man, it's your favorite episode to record every year too. That it's our Halloween episode. Before we get down to business, where can everyone catch you? And all that goodness on social media and all the fun stuff.
You can occasionally catch me at O Tannen's Bum at Twitter. I get on there. As I said, I always say this. I'm a conscientious observer. I'm sorry, I don't like or boost anybody's shit. Just not my game. You can always visit me on Facebook or friend request me. It's just me. I'm Tannen Paul. Come and visit.
You could say you're more personable. That's what it is. That's why you
Yeah,
prefer Facebook.
yeah. I'm definitely a more personable person. And once again, I don't remember what my Instagram is, so that's
Me either.
that. But you can always check us all out. You know, Travis does. He is the man, the one that runs this all Hibiki, the Hibiki TMD at Twitter. Also the channel, the Hibiki TMD. Us, the reset button, and the many other shows that follow it.
You're giving me strokes on a weekly, consistent basis now. Remembering the word "the." So proud once again, Tannen. So excited. So
Well,
excited to have you back, man.
dude, it's good to be back. Oh, by the way, Red Dead 2 just installed.
Yes,
Shoot my
that.
pants.
Let's get to it. Oh, well, like Tannen said, at the Hibiki TV, real quick, shout out to the Sergeant Slaughter. We were talking off air for actually
Oh yeah.
retweeting one of my tweets the other day. It was amazing. One of the greatest moments of my life. Tannen, your dad met Sergeant Slaughter apparently. Real
Well,
quick,
I'm wondering if it was him.
let's pretend it was.
Dad met a wrestler. I was 3, and we went to Walt Disney World. And one of Dad's most memorable moments, we were standing in line for some kind of a ride, and there's this regular dude with like 2 other kids, and my dad's a big guy. I mean, he's 6 foot. At the time, he was 6'5". Really fit, bearded, just railroad worker, tough dude. And this other tall, tough dude starts talking to him, and they're just talking about kids and just the thing about it is that was legit was this guy was legit having a good conversation with my father until finally we get to the end of the line, and then somebody like fucking calls out whoever my dad's talking to. It's like, oh my god, you're blah blah blah, and then he went into like, oh god, like mood. And my dad had no idea. He was like, oh, you're a wrestler, and like he was just like, yeah, like your dad didn't ask what he did for a living. He asked Dad what he did for a living, and then they were just talking about being fathers and raising kids and just having a good conversation.
You said your dad was a railroad worker, right? Like the way when you first like segued that story, the way you build up your dad and what he did, you build him up like that was his wrestling gimmick. Like I pictured John Henry in my head, but that was your
Oh
dad's
man,
character.
yeah, my dad, if he was a wrestler, would have been the railroad. He probably would have showed up in overalls and a huge wrench that he knocked across somebody's head, and then would throw that down.
His his finisher be the Roto Rooter or something hokey like that. Anyway, though, that was shout out to you, Sergeant. A 10
They
hut.
were
Let's okay. Let's do something that's not gonna. Let's do something to make Tannen excited and not want to literally commit
I just
murder.
had to, I just had to get that off. Yeah, here's your dark story about Tannen for Halloween. No,
Red
I won't
Dead
turn
2
into.
came out
I,
today, Tannen. It's here. You got it. It's literally just finished installing on your system. You are about to experience it. From what we have seen, Tannen and I, all these reviews and all these sites, Metacritic, everything. One of the greatest games of all time, they're saying already. And I mean, the first one was. So I've expected nothing less. Tannen, are you ready?
oh, fuck yeah, I'm ready. I could cut you off and be like, fuck you, we're not finishing this episode. But you know what? I'm with this to the end with you. But I am. It is staring me at the face. The guy with the gun. He's not really pointing it at me. He's more off to my left. But it's ready to start.
Ta-
The cookies have been baking for a minute.
Rockstar
And
also came out and said there's no plans to do any GTAs for a while, which obviously, as big as this game is, the hype is for it and as good apparently it's going to be. See why? It makes sense.
but part of their reason is because people are so sensitive and offended within today's political offsetting that they can actually make a fictional story set in a time that they feel was a lot more oppressive and unforgiving and fucking just I don't know. Like I used to wonder why my grandfather could be such an asshole every now and again. You know, like my dad's dad, like he would just flip out every now and again, and it's just like, well, I know why because like if you were raised by somebody who was from the early 20th century, Jesus Christ, like, what the fuck did they have to put up with? Just and that's why like Rockstar is like we can't make a game that's going to reflect today's society. So guess what, guys? Everybody buckle in. This is going to be the next Rockstar game for the next 5 years with the online and everything. You're
Not to
not
men-
going to get GTA.
Not to mention their developers probably, quite frankly, need a rest. They're probably just like jellyfish quivering in a chair from all as hard as they've been working them for this game. It just all the work that goes into this type of stuff. Like we were talking off air,
Yeah.
also just on Arkham game originally. Like one guy spent 2 years developing the cape physics for Batman.
And now we have ball shrinkage physics for horses.
It's balls to the wall in 2018. Horse testicles are coming, and they're galloping your way. I'm excited for you. Also, Soul Calibur 6 just came out. I'm hyped for that one just as much. I'm a huge Soul Calibur fan, as are you, Tannen. But I've heard mixed things about the game load times are an issue. Maybe that'll get patched, and we'll see. But I don't know. I've seen a lot of gameplay. It doesn't look like it's going to be that shitty. So maybe
There's a
it's a different story.
specific system too that they bitched about lag times. I forgot to ask you about that.
What I saw was PS4. Sony did announce the PlayStation Mini is coming out.
Yes, yeah. And that's December.
I believe so.
Okay.
Mid-December.
Yeah. They still haven't talked about the preloaded games. I hear Final Fantasy 70 or Final Fantasy 70. Final Fantasy
Jesus.
7 is
Someday
a definite
it'll
go.
be that. That'll be God.
But yeah, on the PS, yeah, Final Fantasy 70.
On the
I don't think we'll be
PS22.
alive for that. But uh, I hear that Final Fantasy 7 is definite.
Yeah.
Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil Director's Cut are two Capcom entries that they're going to include on that one.
20 games. Ridge Racer, all. Yeah. Tekken 3 is on there. Wild Arms is on
Tekken
this.
3.
But it is $100 as opposed to the NES.
Metal Gear Solid is also another one I hear is a contender coming in. There's another. Oh, Silent Hill. Duh. But this is also could be fan speculative shit. It's like I said, like I'd like to own one, but I'm not going to pay $100 for it. I would if it ran discs.
If I didn't, I'm going to sound like the cheapest piece of shit walking the earth, but if I didn't already have all these already for free on my PC, playable to me right now if I wanted to, this is tough though because we didn't even mention fucking Final Fantasy Tactics is on this, Symphony of the Night.
Yeah.
Metal Gear Solid is on it, Tannen. I'm looking at some of the games. My God, for $100 is as compact and is just user friendly as it is for just space. It's tempting. I want.
But as I'm saying, like, dude, if it read discs, like PS1 discs along with it, I'd be sold. Yeah. I would fucking buy that shit with a HD upscale. Fuck yeah! Like, just shut up and take my goddamn money. And I hope those controllers are wireless.
And December 3rd. December 3rd is the release date also. Yeah.
Oh, it's Holly's birthday. That's my sister, by the way, listeners. I just throw it out there.
Yeah, there you go. I'm hyped. Some people were kind of caught off guard. I knew it was coming. I knew something from another company something like this was bound to happen. It's smart. Capitalize on the success.
Yeah. Dude, if Sega turned around and released a Saturn Mini, and had like Legends of the Dragoon, as well as Sega CD shit on there.
See, Sega's is more niche, and it would have to be something where it would have 32X and Saturn on the same thing. And
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. 32X Saturn and Sega CD all in one.
Yeah. Speaking of what you've been playing,
that would really work.
Speaking of what you've been playing, all that stuff, the Hollow, Tannen.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. This is October. But also, I'm a big fan of sci-fi horror.
Sorry.
And I just got my Switch recently, and I picked up a game called Hollow, and it's basically a first-person Dead Space. It's like Dead Space. You got to shoot off the limbs. You got to. It's like a cult in space, and it's bloody and violent, and a lot of people argue that it kind of sucks graphically, but I don't know. Put on some headphones, sit in the dark. Really try to immerse yourself into it. That's the closest thing to a new Dead Space game that I'm gonna get. And honestly, I love it. I got it for $2. It's $2 on the Nintendo shop. What are you gonna lose with $2 fucking? You're gonna spend more on a cup of coffee at Dunkin' Donuts if you drink coffee at Dunkin' Donuts. Like $2 is so worth getting that game. And yeah. Thank you for bringing that up. That is my review of Hollow. Originally meant to be a VR game, transitioned so well on the Switch though. Something about a handheld game, or VR game going to handheld, I don't know what it is, but works really well. I don't know if it's the way you hold it or the way that it feels, but it definitely it clicks a lot better than what I could see any other system handling it. So yeah, that's just my review of Hollow. You should check it out, especially if you're a Dead Space fan. Especially because, Travis,
Speaking of Dead Space, look
time
at
to
you
feel old.
segueing it.
Dead Space turned 10 years old the other day.
How fucking old do we
And that's
feel,
right. Dude, I remember I didn't pick it up when it came out. I picked it up because I watched the prequel cartoon on Netflix. And of all the things, too, the voice of the main protagonist was the voice of Phil and Lil on Rugrats. But it was such an intense, like, it wasn't necessarily an anime because it wasn't necessarily Japanese, but it would definitely carry those elements. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just found it horrific. And then when I found out, shit, this is a game. Now, Grant, I had stepped out of the gaming world, and I was not current at all. I was still playing fucking, PS2 games and everything. I just got an Xbox 360. So I had no idea what I was delving into. I played 360 and I played Halo at friends' houses. That was my extent of it.
I do think Isaac is one of the most underrated protagonists in the last decade.
Well, think about it. He was a maintenance man. You show up, you're just a maintenance guy, and then you're going through all this shit. That's what I liked about him being silent. Like, there was just one time, like, I just got really stoned and I played that game and, like, did my own narrative of what was going through his head, just speaking out loud. And it was just kind of hilarious. Isaac, I need you to go ahead and go to the top floor and fix everything and save my life.
See?
Oh, God, I just gotta do this shit again. Are you fucking kidding me?
This is why you shouldn't. This is why you shouldn't smoke the weed, guys. Listening to be like saying, no, dude, atmosphere.
It did turn off the horror element of it because I was just like, Jesus Christ, there's another goddamn thing. It's just like, Isaac, I can't get out of this one. We're gonna have to crawl through this. It's just like, are you fucking kidding me? Are you thinking like, you guys are Marines? I'm a goddamn, like, I fix fucking air conditioners.
I only ever played the first one. I'll come clean. I never played 2, and that's one I need to go back and check out. Definitely.
Well, 2, they gave him a voice, so you can no longer write your own story of what was going through Isaac's head.
Yeah. But I was going to say Atmosphere. That's one of the games I immediately think of, like, Atmosphere is what put it. That shit is legit scary. It really is, and it doesn't come off like it's going to be scary if you've never heard of it for the first time. You just look at like the cover, like, oh, okay, it's going to be whatever.
You're talking about the VHS? Oh, never mind. I thought you were talking about Atmosphere.
No, no, we're talking about Dead Space having atmosphere, like the atmosphere of it.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah,
I'm all alone and I'm fucked and just creepy noises, fucking.
And claustrophobia. It's like aliens. They definitely took the Alien franchise and added it into there. Did their own little twist on killing enemies, cut off their limbs. And everything that you go around is just it's a psychosis. Like it's trying to scare you. Like you're walking down a hallway and it sounds like somebody like drunkenly ran into like a thing of metal and down. You're like, what the fuck is that? And turn around, and sometimes it is a necromorph, and then sometimes it's nothing. Like the game is actually programmed to fuck with you, and but sometimes you stop paying attention. There's little noises, and the next thing you know, you're getting attacked because you didn't turn around and just be like, fuck you. Just everything crawling out of the vents. That game is fucking just one of the most badass games ever. That original game. The original Dead Space is the best. Some people that Dead Space 2 is better.
I played the one that's like a rail shooter for a week, and it was actually pretty good. Dead Space Extraction.
Oh, the rail shooter's cool too. Yeah, Extraction. Yeah, Extraction was really good. I mean, it was like just House of the Dead meets Dead Space, and also, like, if you had played the original and you watched the original cartoon and read the comics, it went in with all of that, like storyline-wise.
I think that's an underrated game too.
And to an extent, that is actually a survival horror rail person shooter, because if you don't pick up enough health packs or upgrades for your weapons.
Yeah, the story was like a prequel.
Yeah, no, just like the cartoon was. It was when they unleashed the marker. It told a different point of view. Like everything else was from the USG Ishimura. Extraction was what was going on in the colony.
Yeah.
So, like, dude, it was really awesome. It was really great when they packaged that with Dead Space 2. And you play it on the move. Right. It was good on the Wii, but on the move with the PS3, with the graphics upgrades and everything, it was really good.
Well, happy birthday, Dead Space. So it's a good series. Yeah, even though I've only played the Wii version in the first, Tannen knows them all by heart, and like they look fun. The other ones I haven't played, so.
Well, 3 is. We'll have to system link, see if that still works. I don't even know if you can system link, because the best way to play 3 is with 2 players, and that's what sucked about it.
Right. So, well, speaking of anniversaries and lengthy, stints in games, one of the granddaddies of just the horror genre and everything, you and I have never really sprinkled here and there throughout the years and episodes, but the Castlevania series, let's do it special, near and dear to my heart. I know you like Castlevania too. Man, what can you say? He's still going strong to this day with appearances in Smash, as we see now. Everyone losing their mind, myself included, with the announcement. Where it all started, though, the very first Castlevania, Tannen, for NES, still, it holds. Obviously, it was on the NES.
It holds up.
Yeah.
Definitely holds up. I mean, when I got my NES Mini, that was one of the first games that I picked up. I'm still, like, playing it to try to perfect what torch I can hit and everything without using a Nintendo power. It is one of the most fun fucking NES games, actually. It's one of the ones that will frustrate the fuck out of you.
But want you to keep coming back for more, just like Ninja Gaiden, the fine balance.
Yeah, you just keep you keep going back to it to learn it. You know what I mean?
I would say Castlevania is more frustrating than Ninja Gaiden, and Castlevania will make you throw your controller, and it's the stairs. It's flat out the stairs.
Yeah, well, because you jump and you think you're going to land on stairs, but...
Or you walk and you're about to climb up and you think you push up, and nope, you just fall off the ledge. Like, what?
And the Medusa heads, though. That's the bane of my existence is enemies.
The Hunchbacks. Fuck the Hunchbacks.
The Hunchbacks aren't as bad as the Medusas, man. Like, they're not as random as you think they are.
They got easier over the years in later Castlevania games, the Hunchbacks, but in the first one specifically, I feel like they were a pain in the dick. Like, they were just shitheads.
There's a way to get them into a weak spot. But as far as, like, the Medusa heads go, those bitches will knock you back, and then you'll walk forward after you kill them, and they fucking respawn. The Medusa heads are like those are the ones that piss me off the most, and they're consistent.
Especially if you're on the stairs, then there's just no end.
Yeah.
It's sadly my childhood. My first introduction to Castlevania the very first Castlevania game I played was Castlevania 2. There's no gray area at all on Castlevania 2. I know a lot of people that actually love that game, and I don't hate it because the music's so goddamn good. It still plays like I just, sir. Obviously, we all know why the bad parts about it. We're not going to get specifics. Tannen, do
Well,
you
it's the
love or
it's the
hate that
it,
game?
it's the adventure of Link of the Castlevania series.
What side of the fence are you on Castlevania 2?
Yeah, I love and hate it. I don't know. Like it is a pain in my ass, but at the same time, it is like it holds dear to something. You know what I mean? But it's like I said, it's the adventure of Link of the Castlevania games. I mean, there's obviously the same developers who worked on the fucking game as what they did with the fucking sequel to Zelda. You know, you have these two great fucking games, Castlevania and Zelda, and then you have their sequels, and they're just pain in the asses, bad translated, talking to people around town, and also just themes that you don't like to put up with. I mean, Spirit Tracks is my least, like, I hate that Zelda game, right? Adventure of Link is right above that. You know, if I was to rank Zelda games,
I feel like Adventure Link though
and
at least has more incentive to want to finish it than Castlevania 2.
yeah, no, and it came out after Castlevania 2 did. So they took everything about Castlevania 2 and was like, let's put it in here and not make it such a bitch. And we'll also do this, I just I love and hate it, and that's
What
all I have to say about it.
One of the most cryptic
Um,
games of all time is that part where you got to kneel down at the mountain. Like, if you did not have Nintendo Power Back, there's no way you would have fucking figured that out unless it was like hearsay through word of mouth from people, something. Unless you had the power. Castlevania 3, I never played as a kid. I never played till later days, but it is the hardest one on NES. Thoughts on that, real quick? We won't talk about every Castlevania game, but these three granddaddy ones at least. What do you think about Castlevania 3? First time you could be different characters with abilities and stuff.
Castlevania. By the way, I just registered that we have a poor connection, so I'm trying to adjust that here. Um, Castlevania 3. No, I did like that. And it was a game that I liked. However, it was a game that I didn't get to have too much time with. Castlevania 3 to me was a books and things rental, and as a kid, I basically skipped over it. I've got to admit, I never got hardcore into that. The next Castlevania game that I actually got to really play after 2 was 4. And I played the living fuck out of 4.
Cheap plug time.
But Castlevania 4, in my is the best. Did you hear me on that?
You broke up a little bit, but I heard best and Cass, so I figured you were going to say it's the best Castlevania game.
Yeah, yeah. We got
I was going to say
okay.
cheap plug time. Thank you guys for all the love on the Castlevania 4 review did on the channel about 2 weeks ago for Hibiki Halloween.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, that was good review.
perfect Castlevania game, but it's not my favorite. It's number 2 for me. Bloodlines, for some fucking reason, is my favorite Castlevania game. Everybody looks at me sideways when I say that. It's just a personal preference. For some reason, I feel like it translated so well to the Sega Genesis. It's one of the best games playability wise on the Sega Genesis. The soundtrack is the most underrated soundtrack in Castlevania. Bloodlines is a must play in my opinion. But I totally agree as far as Super Nintendo Castlevania, because Dracula X is a shitty port of Rondo of Blood. Don't kid yourselves. That game sucks. It's not worth your time.
Oh yeah,
Castlevania
the
4 is,
Dracula X is bullshit.
yeah, Castlevania 4 is perfect though. I agree. The 8 directional whipping is just tremendous.
I will agree with you though. The Genesis version is really good. I have never had any fucking hate on that one. But just 4 is my ultimate. 4 is the one that I fucking always loved. Just the best graphics, best music, just best everything. And then as they went on, like I mean, there was the DS versions where you were like a brother and sister.
I love how you just
Um,
skip Symphony of the Night where it changed to like you're going
well,
to
no,
the
I'm jumping around here. You know, like there's two different Castlevania games for DS that I had, and the one where you were brother and sister, that one was okay. You know what I mean? But like, I don't know, that also incorporated dash and just like basically you're a fucking anime superhero all of a sudden and bullshit. Like it just I like the basic whipping. I like the basic 3D background challenges. That's just what I like. You know, like we even had the ones on PlayStation where it was online. Remember that one?
Yeah. Where it's like you
Yeah,
couldn't beat certain parts though unless you were playing co-op though.
yeah. But the maps on on the levels were so intense and so huge that
And
you
you
could
could
zoom
zoom
out and
out.
see
Yeah,
what else was
exactly.
doing. And
Jake.
those were cool, but it was at the same time it's just like, can't I play some fucking Castle fucking goddamn Vania?
And that's why I
You
feel
know,
like
and that's just where
you're gonna agree with me when I say I prefer the straight up linear style. Like I like the
yeah.
Metroidvania style, but not not all the time.
But I mean, you know, uh like the N64 one, you know, like it was
Ugh.
funny. I loved that game when it came out, and then I played it years later and was like, what the fuck was I loving? You know, like, oh, skeletons on motorcycles, they're coming for you. Like, what the fuck was that about?
Yeah,
Um,
not a fan. And then we get to like
yeah, you know, I'm not a fan of it
Godvania,
either. Yeah.
the Lords of Shadow series and stuff. I mean, that's okay if you're into the. I don't know. It's that's not Castlevania to me though.
But yeah, it really just to me, the meat and perfect meat steak and potatoes version of Castlevania is Castlevania 4. And it will never beat that.
Yeah,
I've never seen anything to beat that. Like Symphony of the Night's good, cool, but it's not 4.
yeah.
Like that was just perfect. Like if we had just more of that, I would have been happy. And of course, people would be, "Oh, it's repetitive," but no, it's not actually
It's
because
actually not.
you're still going to play it.
Every stage in Castlevania 4 feels completely different from the way the sprites in the background are, the music, just yeah. And that's what makes the best retro games where every level feels like an episode, a different episode of like pretend that's a series or something. But that's
Yeah,
I'm glad we did it. I'm glad we talked. It's my favorite series of all time to this day. Yeah, it's Castlevania. Speaking of, you said steak and potatoes and all that stuff. That sounds like a great dinner. But I served you up a hot steaming plate of fucking garbage because for game of the week this week.
shit. It was shit. You put dog shit, cat shit that was rolled up in cat litter.
I
And then you took a shit on it yourself and you put it in a crock pot. You brought it over to my house, put it in a bowl, and said, "Here, eat this chili."
It's like you have what, 2 pets? I have 6 pets. It's like all of our pets took a shit in a trash bag and I dumped it on your table. That's what your game of the week was. Predator for NES. Oh, go ahead, Tandon.
Fuck you. First, let me go ahead and begin this speech. Fuck you. I have never been handed an insult of a game as bad, but was excited because. Okay, first off, the intro to this game is awesome.
Yes.
The music's pretty cool. I mean, you know, and there's a thing on Earth, there's an intro movie. It's just like, shit, yeah, we're getting some real fucking shit.
I love how the plot of the whole hour and a half or whatever movie is rushed in like 30 seconds and all. Like, it tells you all of his comrades are dead and fucking.
Yeah, it's just right there. Whatever, you're Arnold. You gotta
Are
get through
you?
this.
Because is that Arnold?
It is, evidently. According to the intro, at least that's how I feel. Or are you just some rogue soldier that he had no idea
Or you're just
survived?
Richard fucking Simmons because you're wearing pink? You got like a perm that's weird.
I thought you were about to say Dreyfus.
You're Richard fucking Dreyfus over here.
So anyway, there you handed me a game that this is full of tricks. It's a trick game. You know, you jump off, you're like, ooh, grenades. Ooh, I'm down here. Ooh, I can't blow this shit. Ooh, this is oh shit. Now I'm gonna kill myself. So this restarts. So what am I doing wrong? I'm gonna get the grenades. How am I throwing these wrong? That's how you spend the first half hour of this game is being a complete retard. So after being a dumbass about your shit, being trapped, and you know, like according to this, you will not survive a horror jungle situation weird tentacles and weird other shit. There's no predator. Where the fuck is the predator
There
during
are
this whole thing?
predators, but you can never play through a level long enough to ever fucking see one because they're guns, but they're in trees, and there's dead ends, and there's beginner's traps, and yes, like, every level has a different colored fucking predator. So it's like if you watch the movie, you're like, where are these other predators in the movie? Because there's like a purple predator and a fucking pink predator and a green predator. It's just the same sprite recolored. And the
Oh
end
yeah,
boss,
I just really thought I was fighting like rebel soldiers or whatever,
you
Contra
were
soldiers,
Colombian
whatever the
drug
fuck they're doing.
soldiers or whatever, guerrilla
Colombian drug soldiers and
scorpions.
tentacles and scorpions. Uh, I saw no predators.
You ever play the? You remember the arcade game Narc, and the end boss is just a giant like skull head. That's the end boss in Predator. Spoiler alert! I've seen the gameplay. It's just a
Yeah,
giant
I've seen the
predator head.
gameplay too. It's just a giant predator head. I saw it too. And in the translation for ending it is so terrible. No, but I mean, I really tried to play this game, Travis. After that, I went and was like, shit, there's a fucking machine gun. I've been dumb the whole fucking time. There's a machine gun to my left. I get the machine gun. I jump up. I got to level 3. And dude, like, seriously, I put a good 3 hours of my life into this fucking game. And once I hit game over that time, I still did not see a predator by level 3.
And speaking of level
Yeah.
2 and level 3, like the landscape, when you reach level 2, it's like it looks like Metroid. And it's like it doesn't fit. Like the first level, it
No,
looks
no,
like
no. There's invisible platforms that look like you can jump on them. So you get to jump on them and you're dead.
yeah.
They did that too.
And there's like doors that look like you can press up and enter, and no, they're just in the background. It's like what?
You know, when I want to play an Arnold Schwarzenegger game where like I'm fighting fucking Colombian drug lords, giant scorpions and shit, just make it like Contra. Why didn't they do that?
It's
Like what?
Predator
What was
for
going on
Predator as a
there?
game writes itself. I mean, how do you fuck something like that up? Especially at that kind of time where like shooters, run
You
and
know,
gun shooters were the standard. Fucking
can you think? Can you think about if they would have made it like Contra? But then also when you finally got to the Predator, like dude, like he would clone himself, or yeah, he cloak himself, and then run around you, and like you're just desperately firing off machine gun shit, Contra style, Arnold Schwarzenegger style,
yeah.
while trying to like wait for the chopper to come.
It would have been amazing,
Like
and people would have liked it, and that means it would have been successful. They would have made a one on Super was Alien versus Predator. It was more Contra, but this time it had aliens in it, and they fucked everything up when they made this piece of shit game that we both played. And don't feel bad while you were saying this. Your angry rant. Everyone is seeing video footage of me streaming it. It's a piece of shit. Stay away. It's misleading. It sounds like a can't miss, but man, they missed. It's like putting your penis in a Cheerio. You're not going to get it in.
I had a good comeback for you for game of the week.
Yeah. Now it's fuck you, Tannen, because you gave me Alien. I wish it was the one for Sega, for fuck's sake, because you gave me the NES version of Alien 3. The
Goddamn right I did.
God, goddamn timer. It would have been not as insufferable if it wasn't for the timer and the stipulations and the rushed and the impossible timer that you can't beat. There's no way I can make it all the way back up to where I came from with the amount of time you give me, no matter what I do. And how many fucking aliens were in the first Alien movie? Same problem we have with Predator. How many Predators are there?
But dude, the Super NES version, if you play that version versus the NES version, like, dude, the aliens are killable. They're not just coming out of nowhere. The NES version, dude, they were up your ass 24/7.
They were.
Like, yeah, you're gonna run out of ammo within the first fucking mission just because, hey. They didn't program it where like you killed it and it's gone. No, it said you turn over. Hey, guess what? I'm back, bitch.
And they take a million fucking hits, and like your buffer after you get hit lasts like a 0.1 millisecond, and it's bullshit. And the fucking timer, fuck that game. Fuck every Alien 3 game ever made. But there are good Predator games.
I like the SNES Alien 3, honestly.
Did you ever play?
Like, if you get it down to a science, it's pretty good.
Did you ever play Concrete Jungle on Xbox or PS2 or whatever for Predator?
No.
Shout out to our buddy OJ that was on one of my wrestling shows, and he mentioned he played it back in the day. He said he described it as like open world Predator, and you're the Predator, and it felt like GTA back in the day. I'd love to check it out. It sounds fun. He said it's good, like it's the only good Predator game besides like the Alien versus Predator, beat 'em up on SNES, and the first person shooter for like Jaguar, which is like the one good Jaguar game. But man, both Predator and Alien got the short end of the stick when it came to gaming. Until like now with like appearances of Mortal Kombat, but do we even really count
Yeah.
that? You know?
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, no. Also, the Alien game, the Isolation, was an excellent game.
I was gonna say. So it's at least they each got one good game. I feel like. That was the game of the week last week. We have no clue what each other's giving us. It's our Halloween themed episode. God only, you said you're gonna go easier on me this week.
I thought I said it was going to go harder.
Oh, I was the nice guy. That's right. I was gonna go
Hey.
easier on you. You want me to give you the good news
Well,
first?
no, like we're both going to also like. I mean, I have a movie for you to watch.
I also have a movie, first time ever, history making.
Well, it's Halloween and everything. I want you to watch What We Do in the Shadows.
Is this
It's
on Netflix?
It's on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
And it's a mockumentary film. Karen just got me a shirt. One of the guys from the UK version of The Office is in it. He also was on Flight of the Conchords, played their producer. We're werewolves, not swearwolves. And yeah, you just gotta watch the movie to get what I'm saying. But like, I'm wearing a T-shirt right now that says "We're werewolves, not swearwolves." And I don't know. The werewolves are cursing, and he's the leader, and he's just like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, wait, so don't cuss." Well, werewolves, not swearwolves.
Sounds good.
So, yeah, you need to watch this movie, though. You really need to watch it, especially with the way the vampires are. It's just so funny. There's certain parts of it that just reminded me if we were all vampires living together.
Well, that's the good news you have for me, I guess.
You're going to watch a damn good movie, but I'm also about to give you a shit fucking game. You can find this on certain sites, and if you need a link to it, I will gladly send it to you. Your game of the week. And you don't have to spend too much time on it, but I want you to really try to play this one.
Go ahead and rip off the Band-Aid.
I want you to play, and it's unfinished, so you can't finish it, but once you hit the brick wall, like you're a champion, Resident Evil on the Game Boy.
Jesus Christ, Tannen. God. That even sounds terrible. Are you talking? Is this tank controls on a Game Boy?
Oh, it's worse than that. It's worse than that. And guess what? This isn't a Game Boy Color. This isn't a Game Boy Advance. It's the fucking Game Boy. If you want the ROM, I'll hook you up with it. But saddle up.
I'm not even mad. I'm just disappointed in you.
Basically, it's an unfinished developer's file, though.
God, so that means it was that bad, like it never saw the light of day.
Yeah, now in some will argue, no, it's a Game Boy Color version. No, there's a original Game Boy version.
Well, yeesh, I can't wait. Now,
All I have to say is, Barry, where's Barry?
Can I change the game I was going to give you? No, I'm going to stick to my guns. I'm a man of my word. The game I have for you is a game I actually randomly fucking got to play as a kid. I didn't own it, but one of my friends did. It was a game. It's something I always wanted to do in a game. The concept of it was awesome. I can't believe it hasn't been more like this to this day. The Haunting, starring Poltergeist for Sega Genesis. You know this game, Tannen?
What? No.
You go around, you haunt this horrible family. You're like this greaser ghost. You're wearing a leather jacket, and you can set traps and stuff in the house, and the object is to scare them so much you scare every member out of the house and clear the level, and it's a great little game.
Okay. Right. I'm also going to give you a second game of the week because this is on your like the file I'm going to give you. It's like a 5-second. It's probably so glitchy, but I just wish you'd be like, "What the fuck, bullshit? I can't do nothing. What the fuck?" I mean, everything's in Japanese. So basically, I'm giving you a prototype. But yeah, that does clear us up. You're right. Happy Hall of fucking Ween, man. Like, wow.
How's your Jack on the Stack? If nobody knows what I'm talking about or whatever, is it Jack on the Stack or
It's
something?
Jack on a Stack. We bought him, I want to say 3 or 4 years ago from a yard sale. It was like 25 cents. And he has a wife too, which is a witch. I think he's buried her somewhere. And he died. I don't even know where he is now, right now. But basically, yeah, every Halloween, Karen and I hide him from each other, and we find him. And he's plush, so you can actually make it where he'll spring at you in certain moments. Like if you hide him in a cabinet the right way. Sometimes he scared me, and sometimes it's been like, yeah, yeah. But yeah, long history about Jack and Say. If you become friends with me on Facebook, this whole history of Jack on a Stack. Like some people do Elf on a Shelf, we do Jack on a Stack. And actually, it's kind of a year-long thing. We do constantly. The last time that he got hidden, the poor guy was hidden for like 6 months.
Where was this?
In one of her closets.
Maybe he fell behind something.
Locked up and positioned so well. No. It was he was on top of something, but then it was like all came tumbling down. It was like, shit, Jack, you're back. So
Well, as always, everyone, be safe this Halloween. Don't light too many bags of poop on fire. Hope you get lots of goodies. Tannen, one more time. Where can everyone catch it and all that good?
You can catch me at Oogenn's Bum at Twitter.com. You can also check me out on my Facebook. It's Tannen Paul. Come on, it's not that hard to find me. Come and find me. You can check us out at our Facebook site, The Reset Button. You can also check out Travis at the Hibiki TMD at Twitter. Also at YouTube, also at everything, and definitely like and subscribe. Share everything with your friends. It's the reset button. I mean, come on. Everybody needs a good restart. We're 2 months away from Christmas, which means we're 2 months away in a week from New Year's, where everybody hits the reset button.
And Tannen, also, we're 5 episodes away from the Big 50. Episode 50 is right around the corner.
Wow, we're gonna have to really do something. I think we should have a chorus line. We should print out like the Maryland Theater or something.
It's crazy, man. Time's yeah, that would be amazing. Time's flown by. Like I can literally remember the phone call. We were both like baked. We're like, yeah, let's call it the reset button. Like, yeah, so 50 episodes. Can't wait. Like Tannen said, all that goodness. Check me out on Hibiki TMD. The Hibiki. I fucked up my own name. Look at me. The Hibiki.
Yeah.
Until next time, the reset button. Happy Halloween.